Hey there, folk and folkettes. You're listening to an episode of The Daily Riff, the official podcast of the Discord server. You guessed it, Riff-Off. If you aren't a part of our merry band, click the link in the description below to join, as we don't bite. And if you're feeling generous, do subscribe to help us out. And with that, we thank you. Now, on of the regularly scheduled programming. Salutations, my lovely, lovely listeners. It is I, your wonderful host, Sproutifer McElliot Sproutinson, here to, of course, host their first Daily Riff episode. It is episode 123 of the Daily Riff. And it is also a Thursday today, specifically the 5th of February. Now, with no Riff news being needed to declare at the start, shall we get into things today? Right then, so... what was that sound? You know what? I believe that's the indicator of the code word for today. So, without any more delays, I believe it is exclamation mark the big screen. Exclamation mark THEBIGSCREEN. That is the big screen. Enter that into the bot center, dear lovely listeners, to get your 1,500 experience points and your 1,000 Riff coins. Now, with that being said, shall we get into the actual IRL or just general headlines? So then, for the IRL news headlines, we have Harry Potter and Chinese New Year. Draco Malfoy, yes, the character from the Harry Potter franchise, has now become the mascot for the Chinese New Year, according to a post made by @Puberty on Instagram. The Chinese translation of Malfoy contains the words horse and fortune, which coincidentally aligned with the year being the year of the horse. And now, up next, we have tributes for Catherine O'Hara, as the news has shocked millions around the world. The beloved actress known for playing Kevin's mom in Home Alone, Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas, and many other roles. Catherine O'Hara has passed away at 71 years old. Wow, that's old. Many are appreciating her bright contributions to acting as she leaves an iconic legacy behind. Now, I personally don't really know much of her, but it's sad to see an icon that many love pass. But, unfortunately, with everything being said, we do have to continue. Now then, dear listeners, shall we grab our notebooks to take down some notes of these wonderful facts for this amazing reruns of Feral's music moment. Take it away, our lovely resident cat.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Feral's Music Moments, where we go back in time to discuss your musical favorites. I'm your host, Feral, and today's episode is about Adele. For the first fact, Adele isn't just a stage name, it's her actual name. Well, part of it at least. Her full name is Adele Laurie Blue Atkins. Did you know that at the age of 14, Adele discovered the music of Etta James and Ella Fitzgerald at a local record shop and fell in love with their styles of singing? Adele did take a long break, and one of those reasons was because in 2012, her and her partner at the time, Simon, had a baby boy called Angelo. She admitted that she has found motherhood tough, but has had a great example to follow from her own mother. Next up, for any animal lovers, you aren't alone. Adele keeps a pet dachshund, affectionately called Louie. Louie was born on the same night Adele went to see Britney Spears in London, so she almost called him Britney instead. Did you know that Adele can play the drums? On her track, Hello, she was showing off her incredible vocals, but also showing off that she can play the drums. Another fun fact is that Adele has a number of tattoos, including 3 to do with her son. She has an A right behind her ear, his name on the edge of her hand, and the word paradise on the edge of her left hand. She has described Angelo, her son, as her paradise. For our very final fact, did you know that Adele has won many awards in her 35 years in this career? Until 2017, Adele had held the record for most Billboard music wins. In 2012, she won a massive 12 awards, but her record was later broken a few years later by Drake, who won 13. Well, Thank you for listening to Farrell's Music Moments. Tune in next week for even more musical facts about your favorites.
I may not be the biggest fan of Adele, but that was rather inquisitive, don't you believe? I mean, especially coming from Farrell, the most knowledgeable music nerd, at least on this side of the production. And so, with that being said, shall we be moving on? Now then, for February 5th's amazing event lineup, we have a singular event, which is a game show hosted by the wonderfully amazing Slick Kicks. It will be hosted at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You know the classic game show where it is hosted on television? It's like that, but with our own Riff-Off twist, of course, with the most amazingly charismatic Slick Kicks, which we love ever so dearly. But with that being said, unfortunately, that is our only bit of events tomorrow, so we shall be scooting on right ahead with the rest of the show. Well, we should be playing an advertisement break. Hopefully it is one that I'm in. If not, oh well. This event is sponsored by Riff-Off's very own open mic event. A chill, no-pressure event where the spotlight is shared and everyone has a chance to shine.
It's not a contest, it's not a competition, it's a queue. A lineup of voices, each bringing something different. A favorite song, a brave first try, or that one melody that you've been humming in the back of your mind all week.
And if the song can't wait to be sang, you can use a golden ticket to skip the wait.
Just for sharing your voice, you'll get 250 Riff coins and 2,000 XP, simply because your voice has value here.
So step up and take the mic. You don't need to be the best, you just need to be your best.
We'll be listening. Good luck!
It is ever so calming to hear both my voice and, of course, Sophia's in the same ad, especially with that lo-fi music in the background. Thank you very much, Riff Studios, for providing us with that ad, and providing me the opportunity to record that ad when you did. But anyways, shall we be moving on? Performance board, how I love and hate you. Well, with that being said, let us play a performance from Chosen_RL, or The Chosen_RL, sorry.
I'm going under and I feel this time there's no one to save me. This all and nothing really got away, driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I've kinda liked the way you numbed all the pain, and now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. Oh.
Thank you very much, Chosen_RL, of course, for that amazing and wonderful performance from the performance submissions. If you would like your own performance submission, then please do go to the Riff Studio Hubs in Riff-Off, the Discord server, and submit a cover or even an original song to performance submission, so it might be played. Anyways, let us move on. Now then, to pad out some runtime, we shall be having Penelope's picks, so let us roll out the red carpet and see what mood she's in for today. Is it a good mood? Is it a bad mood? Either way, let us see how she rates this TV show or movie.
Alright, lights, camera, and action! Hello and welcome, my dear members of Riff-Off. So glad to see you on this side of the red carpet tuning into Penelope's Picks, where I, your lovely host Penelope, review movies and shows for you so you know what's hot and what's not. Remember, these are opinion-based reviews, of course, and also if you have any movies or shows you would like your review on, you can put your list for me to watch and review in the Penelope's Picks form under the Riff Studios Hub, so as long as they are appropriate and abide by server rules. Now, for today's show, I will be reviewing Teen Titans Go, requested by the lovely Seleth. Thank you, Seleth. I used to watch this show a bunch as a kid, and it feels very nostalgic to watch it all over again. Fun fact before you continue is, did you know that the original cast of the Teen Titans show from 2003 had all returned to reprise their roles for this comedic version? That's absolutely incredible and definitely shows commitment. The show is rated PG and generally suitable for everyone to watch. The basis of the show features a group of superheroes based on the original show, like I'd mentioned before, from 2003, Teen Titans, featuring Cyborg, the half-human, half-robot, Raven, a demon, Starfire, an alien from the planet of Tamaran, Beast Boy, who can turn into different animals, and finally Robin, the whole team's leader, who does not really have any powers, but nonetheless helps the team out with his agility and fighting skills. You may even recognize him as Batman's son. And together, the crime-fighting group sets out to protect the city with their powers whenever the alert in their tower goes off. A mix of action, comedy, and chaos are all in the show. Now, growing up, I definitely enjoyed watching the show, along with many of my friends. We'd always laugh and talk about our favorite moments, or the moments we hated, the moments we cringed at, and I feel like those moments make the show closer to me, as it reminds me of those great times I had with my friends. However, the show can seem a bit overstimulating because of how it is a fast-paced show, as well as it uses a lot of bright colors, which can be found overstimulating to some people. There are a couple of crude jokes and humor that add to the comedy part of it as well. So I give Teen Titans Go a 3.4 stars. Alright, that is all from me. But until next time, my dear members of Riff-Off, I'll see you on the other side of the red carpet. And I'm giving it back to you, Mika.
Unfortunately, Mika is not around today to say thank you, so thank you ever so much, Penelope. Teen Titans was an ever so nostalgic show, but not exactly the highest in my opinions, as it was quite jarring and overstimulating. But thank you very much for your professional opinion, Penelope, from the hit segment Penelope's Picks. Anyways, with that being said, let us move on to the final part of the show. Well then, dearest listeners, viewers, or perceivers, either way, it has come to the end of the Daily Riff, episode 123, on Thursday, the 5th of February 2026. I have been your fill-in host, Sproutifimic Elliot Sproutinson, here to offer you a great brew of tea as you leave, with great awe and anguish at the same time, at the end of this lovely show. But remember to tune in next episode for, of course, Slick Kick's amazing return at the end of the week. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and until I see you next, bye-bye.